Live from New York, this is WIUR Radio.
Hello and welcome to another edition of your New York Sports Update. I'm your host, Ernest Patty. Thank you for tuning in again. We're going to get right to it we're going to talk about some of the NBA. We're going to talk about what's going on in the MLB. We're going to talk about the Olympics. We've got a big packed Olympic schedule today. We're in day 14, I believe, and it's heating up ever so quickly. We've already had some great content coming out of the Olympics. A lot of gold medals, a lot of silver medals for the U.S. But we're gonna we're gonna talk about that all later in the episode. But we're gonna be talking about the NBA first. So thank you for tuning in. If somebody told you in 2026, if you told somebody in 2024 that in 2026 the Detroit Pistons would have the best record in the NBA, they would have called mental health services on you because they probably would have thought something was wrong with you. But you would be correct right now because the Detroit Pistons are currently sitting atop the East at 40-13. They're led by Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren. They've basically just built a defensive identity that actually works, making them one of the most dangerous teams heading into the final stretch. The New York Knicks, however, are currently one of the hottest tickets in the league as they are sitting at 35-20, good for third in the Eastern Conference, and only a half game behind the Celtics for the second seed. So hopefully we can see the Knicks make it, pretty far in the playoffs. Maybe get back to a championship at some point. That would be the goal. I would be very excited for that, even though I am sporting a Florida Panthers sweatshirt right now. But at the Garden, kind of a little bit of a breakdown of what's going on. The Knicks' biggest deadline move was bringing Jose Alvarado back to the Garden. The trade, they sent Dalen Terry, who they briefly flipped from the Bulls, and 2 second-round picks to the Pelicans. The impact, Alvarado has been an instant legend. Just a few days ago, he put up 26 points and 8 threes in just 19 minutes during a blowout win against Philly. I know it's Philly, but he's kind of filling that big hole that Miles McBride, who's currently recovering from core surgery. So he's been one of those guys that has kind of filled a role or filled the hole that was needed on this Knicks team, and it's pretty good piece to pick up. The Jeremy Sochan signing in a move that surprised everybody. The Knicks also scooped up Jeremy Sochan after he was unexpectedly waived by the Spurs. He brings that kind of like villain energy and defensive versatility that Coach Mike Brown, who took over for Tibbs, loves. He and OG Anunoby on the floor together have made the Knicks defense a nightmare against opposing wings. Now, I know there were a lot of rumors that Giannis was going to be ending up in the Garden at some point, but I think the Knicks didn't pull the trigger just on that move just yet. I think they're waiting for a bigger push in the summer months. You'll honestly, the Knicks are going to have to give up a lot for Giannis. There's no question about that. And I don't know if there are many other teams. Yes, there are many other teams that could use Giannis, but there aren't that many teams that would give up so much for Giannis. I think the Knicks are one of those teams that are in a sort of prime position to do that, where they're like capable of giving up a lot for obviously a player like Giannis. But I think a lot of other teams won't pull the trigger just yet. I think the Knicks are desperate for an impact player like Giannis. So hopefully you'll see that happening over the summer, in the off season. But um, but yeah, I think Giannis will end up in New York at some point. Um, there has been a little bit of off-court drama. Um, the Knicks and the Rangers are sort of going to be two separate companies. Um, this was kind of seen as like a way to unlock value. I mean, the Knicks are worth nearly 10 billion. Um, and while James Dolan says he isn't selling, he says the restructure makes it easier to sell a minority stake or the whole team down the line. So the Knicks and the Rangers are going to be becoming two separate companies there. And I don't know, maybe you'll see a new owner at some point on one of these two franchises. That would be pretty cool. I think the Rangers kind of in a sell uh, at the deadline for them. So I don't really see the Rangers really picking up anyone anytime soon. But I think they're kind of in like a rebuild year. So hopefully we'll see them maybe get some more cash, maybe get a new couple owners and whatnot. But anyway, the Knicks are after the All Star game. Jalen Brunson, he's been so far so good. He's averaging 27 points per game, and he just won the All Star Shooting Stars event. So it was good for him. You have Karl Anthony Towns averaging 21.4 points a game, averaging a double double on the season. You have Mikal Bridges sporting just around 16 points per game. And he's still the league's Iron Man and primary defender. And so now we've got the MLB season is starting to kick up. Now, I'm a huge MLB fan. As you probably can tell from my later episodes, that I primarily watch the baseball, the Yankees to be more specific. But the 26-27 season is right around the corner. Previously, we've had some massive free agent signings. We've had Kyle Tucker signing with the Dodgers on a 4-year, $240 million deal. Pete Alonso leaving Queens, going down to Baltimore, signing a 5-year, $155 million deal with the Baltimore Orioles. And then you had Alex Bregman signing with the Cubs for a 5-year, $175 million deal. And then, of course, got to sneak my Yankees in there. We had the Yankees re-signing Cody Bellinger to a $162.5 million deal. So couple new things that are going to be, or couple things that are starting to happen this season. You have the new robot umpires, the ABS challenging system. It's pretty much, it's pretty controversial right now because you've had last season you had players tapping their helmets when they were frustrated with a strike call or a ball call from the umpires there, and it was implemented into AAA and the minor leagues last season to sort of give it like a test run. But now you have it coming to the MLB in 2026, and I think the overall response from a lot of people is that they like the new system. They get 2 challenges per game. So that'll give players and pitchers and catchers the ability to challenge a ball or strike call from the umpire. Now, all the player has to do is tap their head or helmet if they think the umpire missed a call, right? Or if it was a border call, right? And then obviously it's been a massive hit with the fans because we get to see sort of like what happens in tennis when they call an in or an out call. And so, we'll finally get to see that up on the Jumbotron, right? And, kind of live that little suspense with the players. So that'll be something really cool coming to baseball. I think it's a good idea, even though I am I'm a strong, advocate for like just let the game play out and let the umpires do their job, right? Like they're behind the plate for a reason. And so I get that this could almost in a sense replace umpires, but I don't think that would happen ever because baseball was basically built with umpires in mind, and there was always somebody behind the plate calling balls and strikes. And I don't think that aspect will ever change. I think this will just elevate the game so that we get the right calls and get the right outcomes. Now, I understand the other point that if a umpire misses a ball call or a strike call and that results in a one-run game or a tied game, resulting in a walk-off at the end or something to that effect. Um, I understand how that can ruin the natural pace of baseball games. But now I think we just get the right call, right? Like I don't think there's anything wrong with, well, if it was a ball and you had an umpire like Angel Hernandez who has had a terrible track record of missing calls. We don't see him a lot in the in the MLB anymore, but and he hasn't done a World Series or a playoff game in a while. But I think this will help baseball become just more accurate. And, I like that they're only allowed two challenges. And I think that's great as well. I think the challenge system was great when they implemented it for, stolen bases and making sure, guys were safe when they were called out or out when they weren't called out, stuff like that. Where you had calls that if we had a replay system, they would get the right call. And I get early when this technology didn't exist that it was sort of just up to the umpires and their call was law. But I think this will kind of help baseball get right, and I think the added aspect of the fans and whatnot. I think that'll kind of uh, help people understand baseball a little bit more and get to be a little bit more involved in the game that way. But it's really interesting to see this coming to baseball. It's been in the NFL for a while. The challenge, flag and whatnot, and tennis and like I said, so it's pretty cool. I like to see that the game is changing, and I get the pitch clock and stuff like that. Like it helps with the pace of games, but I think this is a really cool addition that they're adding to baseball. Now we've got the 2026 World Baseball Classic. It's a WBC year. Spring training is a bit hot out right now. Most of the game's biggest stars are, currently in spring training and whatnot, but they're going to be going down to, going all over to play these games. I'm really excited to see Team USA. Bryce Harper was quoted saying that he's really excited to have Aaron Judge hitting behind him. And I know Bryce Harper was almost a Yankee. And I think that's one move that Cashman, kind of regrets there, not signing him. But yeah, it's going to be a great baseball classic. I'm kind of excited to see what happens. I love that Aaron Judge is leading the way with a bunch of other guys. And you get to see him face off against Vlad Guerrero and Shohei Ohtani and all those guys. Would love to see the U.S. Bring the championship back after a tough loss last year. But we've got Shohei Ohtani playing for Japan, but he's only limited to hitting as he continues to manage his arm fatigue following his 2025 return. You got the Blue Jays revenge. Toronto is coming off a World Series loss. But they brought in some guys during free agency, so that's pretty cool to see. But they're going to be all over. And yeah, and then we get into the sort of the biggest, kind of news going on, that the broadcast chaos that FanDuel Sports Network acquired what was formerly called Bally Sports. If you were in like the south to Midwest, Bally was a pretty big network. That's where you'd get a lot of the games, similar to like your what do you call it, like MLB Network, or just the local channels where you would find your games. But they FanDuel acquired them, and now they're officially shutting down this April. The result: MLB is now directly producing and distributing broadcasts for 15 teams through the MLB TV local bundle. So they're going to be switching up a lot of things there, and so you'll have you'll have to subscribe another subscription service that you'll need. You're going to have to really look for that, but it's kind of getting annoying at this point. Why can't we just have all the games wherever we want them, one spot, one price? That would be nice. But instead, you've got Gotham, you've got Yes, you've got, oh gosh, you've got MLB TV, you've got wherever else, Apple TV, Prime Video. Obviously, it's for football, but you got baseball games, all over the place now. Like, why can't we just have it in one spot for one price? But anyway, beggars can't be choosers. But just some other notable dates here. February 20th, the first official spring training games start. That's going to be tomorrow. You have March 4th being the World Baseball Classic, which that begins. And then March 25th, you've got the season opener, Yankees versus the San Francisco Giants, in a pretty fun game. So a little bit adding to that, you've got the Yankees are testing out a prospect of theirs, the 22-year-old flamethrower, if you will, Carlos LaGrange. He's becoming the talk of Tampa. Recently, in a Twitter video that I saw, he struck out Aaron Judge in live batting practice with a 102-mile-per-hour fastball. Now, that's insane. To be 22 years old and being able to throw 102 miles per hour is kind of nuts. But in a subsequent at bat, Aaron Judge took Carlos deep and smacked it over the wall. So, am I worried about Carlos LaGrange? No. Am I excited? Yes. Is giving up a home run to Aaron Judge kind of a given when you're 22 years old and in the Yankee farm system? Also, yes. So, I wouldn't be too worried, but I would also be very excited that the Yankees' number 2 prospect is very good, honestly. And that would give them a lot of flexibility with Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, Clark Schmidt, and the rest of the guys on the IR. That would really kind of open up a few things. You have Max Fried, Schlittler, Will Warren, Luis Heel, all guys that have pitched very well before. And we've kind of got like, I want to say like 8 starters if we're being, real. But it's almost in a sense that none of these guys are really proven. I mean, Schlittler pitched phenomenally in the postseason, and in the regular season. Same with Will Warren, who was just a little bit hit or miss, but he was still very solid. But it's good to see that the Yankee farm system is producing good arms. And so we could be what do you call it? We could be looking forward to that. And then what is it called? It really gives you hope that the Yankees might have a chance at winning games this season. And then once all those guys are back healthy, I think the Yankees could be a little dangerous. Now, I wasn't so optimistic about them a few weeks ago and a few months ago and during the regular season last year. Um, but now I kind of am. I think it's just up to that lineup and the defense. And honestly, uh, uh, depending on who plays where, I think that could be you know the biggest question that everyone wants answered surrounding the Anthony Volpe situation and the outfield. We have uh, Ryan McMahon, who's been taking reps at shortstop, a move that's been met with some skepticism, obviously. And McMahon has basically only played 3 innings at short in his entire MLB career. Anthony Volpe is recovering from offseason shoulder surgery. Um, and I mean, I don't know. I would much rather have JC Escara or Jose Caballero or Oswaldo Cabrera when he comes back playing at shortstop than Anthony Volpe after last season. I mean, yeah, the kid hit a 3-run or a grand slam in the World Series in 2024. But last season he was abysmal. And so, I would much rather see anybody else play shortstop other than him. But Ryan McMahon, I don't know if that's the guy. I mean, come on now. But yeah, and you know, I man, I just I'm not confident in that at all. And so yeah, we'll honestly, it's just gonna just wait and hear what the what Aaron Boone says about the positions there, and yeah, but Aaron Judge is healthy again. He was dealing with forearm and flexor strains in his right elbow that hampered him late last year. He's going to play a couple games, a couple spring training games before leaving for the World Baseball Classic. And he told reporters, "I don't get paid to play. This is just I don't get paid to play this game. I get paid to win here." Doubling down on his frustration with the lack of World Series rings, and I don't blame him. I mean, there was another video. I can't show visuals here, but there was another video where he was talking about the offseason moves and if he felt like the Yankees did enough. And he was like, "Come on now, we're the Yankees," and he gave a little smirk. And so I think there's a little inkling that he wishes they did more. But we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. I mean, who knows? A lot of teams have won with a lot less. So we'll see what happens there. But some new additions, like I said last time and earlier, we've got Cody Bellinger back. We've got the veteran Paul Goldschmidt back, and Ryan Weathers, who we've recently acquired from the Marlins to bolster the lefty side of the pitching staff. Now, because my notes are out of order, and I forgot to bring these up while we were talking about Carlos LaGrange, but we'll get him right in there. He's the Yankees' number 2 pitching prospect, ranked 74th overall in the MLB pipeline, and he sits at 6'7", 248 pounds. I mean, the guy is a beast. He's only 22, and he's become a viral sensation since striking Aaron Judge out. But his career seasons in High A and Double A, he's got a win loss of 11-8. He's got an ERA of 3.5. He's got 168 strikeouts, ranking 3rd in all of minor league baseball. And he's pitched 120 innings, which isn't terrible. That's not bad. So I'm kind of hopeful for this young arm in the Yankees rotation. Now we're getting to the Olympics, and the Olympics have been so exciting. Recently, though, there's been a little bit of controversy behind Eileen Gu, the Chinese skier. She was asked by a reporter when she was in the gold medal events, and she came up short. She won 2 silvers here in Italy, and the reporter was basically asking her, was it 2 silvers gained or 2 golds lost. And she had one of the best clapbacks of the century. So we're going to play that for you right now.
Female free ski. How do I say this? Winning a medal. I'm the most decorated female free skier in history. I think that's an answer in and of itself. How do I say this? Winning a medal at the Olympics is a life-changing experience for every athlete. Doing it 5 times is exponentially harder because every medal is equally hard for me, but everybody else's expectations rise, right? And so the 2 medals lost situation, to be quite frank with you, I think is kind of a ridiculous perspective to take. I'm showcasing my best skiing. I'm doing things that quite literally have never been done before. And so I think that is more than good enough, but thank you.
Okay, so that was Eileen Gu on her performance in Italy so far. Now, she is one of the most decorated female free skiers in history. She back in Beijing, she won gold in the big air and the half pipe, and the silver in the slope style. In all 3 in Beijing. Now in Milan, she was the heavy favorite to bring home the gold in the big air and the slope style, and the other half and the half pipe as well. But she won the silver in both very tough competitions. And it was just something to point out because I thought that was a pretty rude comment to ask one of the kind of a rude like leading question to ask one of the athletes there. And I mean, she's just been putting up an incredible performance for her country. And I know people are mad that, you know, she was born in America, but she is on the Chinese team. But I mean, again, look, she's doing it for herself and she's killing it. And yeah, just something that I came across the other day and had to bring up. But in other news, the host country Italy sits second in the total medal count. They have 9 total gold medals. Norway sits at the top at 15 gold medals. And I mean, if you haven't seen any of the Olympics so far, you probably have seen the Norwegian skier Johannes Klæbo there, quite literally just sprinting up the mountain at a 6-minute mile pace. But we'll get to him in a moment. You have the U.S. Currently in 3rd place. I know there were some medal events just a few hours ago while I was in class, so I couldn't update them as fast as possible. But there are some events happening later today that we will talk about right now. But Norway's dominance, they're on track to lead the medal count for the 3rd consecutive Winter Games. Their dominance in the cross-country and biathlon events just remains unmatched. I mean, you see them crossing the line 1st, 2nd, or 3rd in almost all of the events. However, the Italy is currently sitting at that 2nd spot with them being the host country. I think the host country always performs really well whenever they host the Olympics. Like France did really well. China did really well in Beijing. And you have the Summer Olympics and whatnot. I think it's just they always get that bump for some reason. They just perform better than the other athletes. Team USA leads with the total amount of silver medals at 11. No one is close to them. Coming up today, there are 6 medal events. You have women's hockey later today, USA versus Canada, big rematch. You have the men's speed skating, which actually happened before me, and China, I'm almost positive China took that gold medal. You have the women's figure skating. The free skate finals happens tonight. You have ski mountaineering, a new sport that was actually brought to the Olympics, which is probably the funniest sport I've ever seen. You have to like take off your skis, run up a mountain. put them back on, slide down, do it again. Like, it's a whole thing. That started today. You have the Nordic combined men's team skate. You've got the Blade Angels. You got Amber Glenn, Liu, and Isabeau Levito, all competing for a gold medal. They are very good. They're the U.S. favorites, hopefully for the gold medal. Amber Glenn and Alyssa Liu both have a gold medal for the team event and the team figure skating event. And they're looking to go maybe 1-2 in the free skate. You have the med speed skating that just happened. Jordan Stoltz, I'm almost positive, did not make the podium in that. And you have the ski mountaineering, men's and women's sport. The U.S. has a team, but I don't see them competing in that or being a big factor in that. And then you have the Nordic combined, the men's team sprint up that. Anyway, Johannes Kleibo, the Norwegian Olympic athlete, has broken the record. He's won his 5th gold medal of these games, which brought his total career Olympic gold medals to 10. He makes him the most successful Winter Olympian of all time, officially surpassing the previous record of 8 gold medals held by his former or by his fellow Norwegians. And he's the only person in history besides Michael Phelps to hold at least 10 Olympic gold medals. He won his first gold medal in the skiathlon. In the sprint classic was his second. His third was in the 10 kilometer. His fourth was in the 4x7.5 kilometer relay. And his 5th was in the team the sprint 2 days ago. And social media has been obsessed with him ever since they saw him running up the hill at a 6-mile pace. And he's not done. He has one final event, the 50-kilometer mass start on Saturday. That'll take place in 2 days. And if he wins that, he will tie Eric Heidson's 1980 record of 6 gold medals in a single winter games. So it's an exciting weekend. It's an exciting day as well. You've got those gold medal events coming up later today. And then the USA hockey plays in a couple days. And yeah, it's just a great Winter Olympics so far. That is all for this episode. We will be back here next week, 2:00. Don't miss it. And for WIUR, I'm your host, Ernest Patty.